love it. All sports, double coverage.
All right. I'll... He's cocked it up.
Doesn't matter, ladies and gents. We're here. We're doing the podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, what's going on, Sauce? We're unmuted. We're live. We're ready to go. We've got NBA, NFL, EPL, Hobby Talk, and some Saucy Smokey. No UFC, no
F1.
AFL, and no F1 as it is off-season for us. But we'll get straight into it with the NBA. A bit of a different format we're going to bring to you. Obviously, when we covered the NBA earlier in the year, it was the bubble. So it's much easier for us to go through every game as there wasn't that many going on daily. Now with potentially 50 games potentially a week, it's very hard to go through everything. So we're going to bring you at the start of each segment the standings in the East and the West. We can touch on a few things in there that stand out. Then we've got some news that's been happening around the league. And then we'll always finish off with the league leaders, because now we've got some league leaders in there just to help us see who we think could potentially be MVP of the 2020-21 season. So let's get straight into it. Let's get in with the East standings. Mate, the first three teams I'm going to read to you, 4 teams, you're going to be a bit shocked. All right, so we got Cleveland on top, Orlando in second, Indiana in third, Atlanta in fourth. Well, we expected Atlanta to be in the 8, but they're fourth at the moment. 5th, Philly. 6th, Brooklyn. 7th, Miami. The Knicks are in 8th. So even the Knicks are playing playoff basketball 3 games into the season. Then we've got Boston 9th, Milwaukee 10th, Charlotte, Toronto, Washington, Detroit, Chicago rounded off. Washington, Detroit, and Chicago have not had one win yet. And Toronto as well, who are 0-2. In the West, also the same situation as the East. We've got New Orleans on top, Phoenix in second, Minnesota in third, Utah in fourth, which is an expected one, Portland in fifth, Clippers in sixth, Sacramento in seventh, San Antonio in eighth, Lakers just outside on ninth. Then it's rounded out by Oklahoma, Dallas, Denver, Memphis, Golden State, and Houston, which are the only team to not have a win yet. Interesting stuff. Great start by a few teams, Saucy, like Cleveland being one of them.
So there's been a
Sexland, as they've been getting called by Larry Nance Jr.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Old Sexland down there.
But yeah,
they're playing really well.
They have been playing well, and let's just hope that they can keep it rolling, and those young guys can keep learning. Do I expect them to be playing playoffs at the end of the season? Probably not. I think teams are going to work them out. Obviously Colin Sexton has started like a house on fire, but when those adjustments come and they watch a bit more film on him and they able to close him down and then force some of the other guys to beat them, then I can't see Cleveland getting into the playoffs. If they do prove me wrong and do get into the playoffs, it's going to be a 7th or 8th seed. They're not going to be sitting on top seed. I don't expect them to remain there. But we're only 3 games into the season, Domma. Last season, I thought it was going to be the breakout season for the Phoenix Suns, the way they started in the first 10 games, and then we all seen how that turned out. Where they got invited to the bubble and they put on a form at the end of the season, but they fell off dramatically after sort of their first 10, 15 games, and they pretty much went missing for about 30 games. So it's a long season, still 70 games to go for most teams, and there'll be a lot of ups and downs. One down at the moment is obviously Ja Morant getting injured for Memphis Grizzlies. High ankle sprain, I believe. It's
3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, 3 to 5 weeks. The sports card at the sports card PT. If you want to read up a nice report that. I need to know his name. I don't know his name exactly, but check out that account on Instagram because he does write-ups for NBA players and it's all about hobby and how that's going to affect his standing in the hobby or his cards. Which, in my opinion, if people are selling after a high ankle sprain, contact me. Let me know what price you're selling at. Maybe we can talk it down a bit and we can work out a deal. Yeah. So my
Definitely.
suggestion to
I
be,
wouldn't be.
my
I
suggestion wouldn't
wouldn't.
be to
Don't.
sell.
Yeah, don't get so scared. Like if he snapped his ankle, I can completely understand, but it's a it's just a high grade ankle sprain. Just calm down. You'll come back better
You've
with the
seen the way the
yeah
injury happened.
yeah
We see these all the time in the NBA. Landing on another guy's foot, it rolls. One you got to be careful of is it rolls the other way on the inside because your ankle's
correct.
not meant to roll that way. That's where you can do some real ligament damage. He's rolled it on the outside, so it's obviously it's still bad because he's still going to miss 3 to 5 weeks, but it's not as bad as what it could have been.
Definitely. And yeah, just back on those standings, like you said, it's not a true reflection. There's one thing that you will see, ladies and gents, as we go on week to week. These will definitely be changing. They'll definitely be different next Wednesday when we do our podcast. So, I think one factor to consider is obviously a lot of these teams have had a lot of rest, where a lot of the others have just come straight out of the bubble. Uh, Phoenix and New Orleans had more rest than what those playoff teams had. And if you have a look at it, you got Denver, Dallas, Lakers. They're down there in the West, in the East. Sorry, Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, even Miami struggling a bit. Uh, those teams that had rest. Well, Indiana went out early by Miami. Cleveland didn't play. Orlando didn't play. So just give it, like Saul said, it's 10 games, but 20, 25, and then you'll really see uh, who the top tier teams are. Well, you know who they are. They just come good eventually. But some other news there. We were high on Brooklyn when we did our NBA preview with Talking Cardboard. We're still high on Brooklyn now. But the one thing, like, we messaged each other during the week and said that you just got to hope their bench production continues. They are very deep. But a day after we spoke, Sauce, Spencer Dinwiddie's gone and hurt his knee, and he's going to be
ACL.
out for the season. Yeah, so this is the issue with teams like that. Like Spencer Dinwiddie was starting. He was starting. So you lose a starter, so now you got to change your rotation again, and it hurts teams. Injuries can be the be all and end all of a basketball team. It doesn't matter if you got KD or Kyrie. It makes it a lot harder if you don't have your key players. And Dinwiddie was a key player on that team. It's a massive loss. I still don't think it's going to hurt them as much, but hopefully there isn't a flow-on effect and there's more injuries to come. My concern is Dinwiddie is injury prone, and then the two superstars on the team are also injury prone, and then Karis LeVert is also injury prone, and DeAndre Jordan is also injury prone. So if you actually go back and look at their health history in the league, these guys don't usually stay healthy. They're always injured at least once throughout the season. And Brooklyn, I don't think, can afford to have that have that issue in their
Yeah,
team. They need the
I
luck.
agree with you, Domma, and like
They need that luxury of finishing up there to get some home finals.
yeah, so it's we'll see how this evolves. We'll see how they change up their rotation to allow for obviously Dinwiddie being out. But overall, what we have seen from the Nets, which is Kyrie and KD, the main two that you're looking at, they look like the players that we know,
Bloody oath.
before their injuries, and which is great for the league.
They've been unbelievable.
It's great stuff for the league because we want competition. We want it to be a hard East out there this year. So yeah, it's looking good. There's one team in that East that I'm not surprised at their positioning, and that's Indiana Pacers because they're just consistently decent every season. I think they've made the playoffs. I don't know, something like 6 of the last 8 seasons. I could be wrong on that, but they're consistently decent. Do I think they're gonna have that take that next step this season? I don't think so because they really didn't shake up their roster much, but you know. I could see them getting into that 6th seed and securing up a playoff spot. And there's one guy on that team that I just think he doesn't get enough love, and that's Devontae Sabonis.
He's a gun.
The guy's 24 years old. He's averaging on the season something like 23 and 11 on the season. You're putting up those numbers at the power forward position. That is absolutely great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. And you know what did I say? What did I say last year, Domma? Sabonis' jump shot, it looks good. He could easily bring that out to a 3. While on the season thus far, he's already shot 9 threes, and he's made 4. Right? So in the first game, he went 2 of 4. Second game, he went 0 of 1. And their last game against Boston, where they got the W, he went 2 of 4 from 3 again. So he's expanded his game. There's not much more you can ask for from a big man at the power forward position than not only is he elite around the ring and he's a great rebounder, but he then...
Great passer.
And great passer too. He then now can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
He's a more valuable player than Ben Simmons, in my opinion, because he can actually shoot the 3.
Well, the funny thing is we actually spoke about this in the bubble because, remember, Sabonis didn't play because he was injured.
Correct.
And we said that if he played, it'd be a completely different story with Indiana because then you got guys like Jimmy Bucket's son not carrying the team. So that's TJ Warren for anyone, any new listeners and viewers out there. But it's a completely different thing, like story for Indiana. They probably pushed Miami a fair bit in that series instead of getting killed by my boys. But they're consistent. I think it was great that they kept Turner and Oladipo. Like, it works out really. I would not trade them. If anything, I'd just be trying to get pieces like for your bench unit, really, because that starting 5 is great. You got Turner in there. You got Oladipo in there. You got Warren. You got Sabonis. I reckon the it's solid. It's just you need a good bench unit to come off there and put up some points. Maybe a few vets in there that can shoot. Maybe a vet point guard that can lead an offense, and I reckon they'll be fine.
Well, one thing to note, Domma, Devontae Sabonis, people have really noticed his great play in the first few games. His last sale on his Prism PSA 10, which is on the 27th, so that's would actually be 2 days ago. 3 days for Australia, but 2 days based off American time. $360.
Wow.
Last sale previously before that, on the 14th of this month, $130. Last sale before that, on the 18th of November, $75.
Can you go back and see during the bubble when he wasn't even playing? I reckon it'll be less than $50.
You could have picked up his PSA 10 Prism base card for under $100 and is now last sold, confirmed sale at $360. You've just 3 times your money. If you're onto the Devontae Sabonis train, and I know one lad out there who I speak to on Instagram, he was very high on him and was shattered when he couldn't play in the bubble because he was expecting him to do well. Well, hopefully he held onto his cards because the way he started this season, and if he keeps going in this manner, he's pretty much a shoo-in. If he continues this form, 20 and 10, he's a shoo-in for All-Star. You can lock him in. So,
definitely. But I definitely think, obviously, news stories and stuff will come out weekly. I think there's just those 2 injuries were the big one. And obviously, we'll just touch on this. I don't know what it was. No Kawhi, no Clippers. We just need to touch on it. They got smacked by 51. It was shocking. Like, they had 2 scorers up to halftime. Or 3 scorers to halftime. It was ridiculous. Like, they got destroyed. I think you're going to see a lot of blowouts. The Christmas Day games, so Boxing Day here, every game was practically a blowout. I think it's just the rhythm. Teams need to find that rhythm, and then the gaps will shorten in games, and it'll be more competitive. But I think just at the moment, they're all really not having real pre-seasons because of all the COVID, and they just come straight back into it. And yeah, some teams are just not in sync, and they're just getting slaughtered at the moment. But we'll wait and see what happens in the next few weeks, and we'll cover it as it comes. But let's get to the league leaders, because this gives us a good indication of some of the games some of the players are having. James Harden, definitely just going to lift his stock if he wants to get traded, but he's leading the league he's averaging 39 points a game. Trae Young, 34. Bradley Beal, 33. Kyrie Irving, 29.3. And CJ McCollum, who stepped up early, 29 points. Assists, this is where it gets pretty funny. Like Nikola Jokic is leading assists, 14 a game. Westbrook, 13.5. Harden, 12.5. Lowry, 10. Chris Paul, 9. And then rebounds, Drummond 14.7, Gobert 14.7, Giannis 13, Valanciunas 13, and Westbrook 13. I think the great thing that, if you haven't noticed, there was a name I mentioned twice there. I didn't mention them in the points per game because Bradley Beal from Washington is leading the team in the points per game. But Sauce and I did say they've played 3 games. Westbrook's only played 2 of the 3 games. He's already had 2 triple-doubles. So Saucy and I both said he probably averaged around 55 to 60 plus triple doubles this season playing for Washington. I think he's definitely going to get it because he's getting the assists and the rebounds and the points with ease in this team. He's the second option, so he's going to get all the touches. The one thing I have noticed with Westbrook's game in the first 2, the one thing he didn't do in Houston, because he was clearly directed not to do it, is doing once again at Washington, and he's shooting threes. He cannot shoot threes.
But I don't understand.
Stop.
I don't understand, Domma. I don't understand.
Just stop.
You're a professional NBA. What happened to this guy? What happened to him? From memory, Russell Westbrook used to be a half-decent three-point shooter. He's never been elite. He's never been, a great three-point shooter. But, let's go have a look back at some of his early days in OKC where he shot the three at 33%, 31%, 32%, 32%, and then it's just fallen off dramatically. He's now below the 30%. You got to, 2016-17 season, he shot it at 34%. But now, last season, 25%. The season before that is 29%. I mean, he was somewhat serviceable from what I remember in OKC.
Just stop shooting.
But, it's got to the point where shooting the three ball, Domma, doesn't help your team. It's actually a detriment to your team. You're not helping them at all.
Well, I think he went 0-6 in the last game that he played for Washington.
Well, he's averaging 3 attempts a game and he hasn't made 1 because his percentage is 0. So in 2 games he's played, he hasn't made 3. He's averaging 3 attempts a game.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, we'll see what happens, but we'll keep you posted. But Westbrook, stop shooting the 3. Just keep getting your triple doubles, get your MVP caliber season, and your team will finish nowhere near winning it. So, anyway, Bradley Beal's the MVP of that team. He's the best player.
Oh.
But let's coming up next, Saucy, EPL. We've got 2 weeks of football again in 1 week, so we've got a bit to cover there. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. Sauce, let's get straight into it. Week 15 of the EPL season. Leicester versus United, 2-2. Not going to get into it. We probably should have won this one. Villa versus Palace, 3-0. Fulham, Southampton, 0-0. Arsenal beat Chelsea, 3-1.
We've got something to celebrate, Domma.
You can't beat Burnley and you beat Chelsea.
Oh, man. I said last week on the show, let's just lock that in your multi for Chelsea to win. And that's what I did. I did chuck Chelsea in a multi that I had, and Arsenal ended up getting the chocolates. So it's just, maybe I should just keep betting against Arsenal because it seems when I do that, we win.
That's it. Just keep losing your money on Arsenal and you win as the reward, which is great. We have Man City beat Newcastle 2-0. Sheffield lost to Everton 1-0. Leeds beat Burnley 1-0. West Ham drew with Brighton 2-2. Liverpool and West Brom Albion drew 1-1. Wolves and Tottenham also drew 1-1. And let's get into Week 16 games. There was games on this morning. There's 2 more games to round this out tomorrow, this week of fixtures. But we'll get into it. Palace and Leicester drew 1-1. Chelsea and Villa drew 1-1. So Chelsea is absolutely struggling. I'm not looking good here because I did say they would win it all. But in saying that, it looks like potentially my boys, when we get to it, they could be the team to steal the chocolates from Liverpool. But Arsenal 2 in a row, beat Brighton 1-0. I can't believe that you've actually
We
won
won
2
two
straight.
straight, Domma.
This is just
We're
absurd.
coming back. We're coming for that title now.
Burnley beat Sheffield 1-0. Southampton and West Ham drew 0-0. West Brom got smacked by Leeds 5-0. And then in what we call in the Theatre of Dreams down in Manchester, Solskjaer time, which is stoppage time at the end of the game, Marcus Rashford scored in the 92nd minute to beat the Wolves 1-0 and put Manchester United 2 points behind Liverpool in second spot. Equal games played. Both played 15. This is insane.
Domma, you were riding your team early on in the season saying, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, get out the door. Mauricio Pochettino, sign him up. Pochettino's gone. He's gone to PSG, mate. So
Mate, he's still a
you're
spud.
still stuck with him, but he's got you second on the table, Domma.
Mate, the coach and the manager of that football club wears number 18 for Manchester United, and he is by far the best player.
He's your best player.
And that is Bruno Fernandes. All right. He looked a bit slow against Leicester. He struggled a bit. I watched that game. He did battle. He looked really lethargic. But United bounced back this morning. Great teams will win at all costs, whether it's in the 92nd minute. Stealing and snatching games is something like that I haven't seen United do in a long time. We've struggled at home this season, so it was good to get a win. We've had 2 wins in a row at home. We're undefeated away from home. Since we drew to Leicester, we have not lost away from home. We actually got a better record away than actually playing at Old Trafford, which is good. So if you can consistently keep that away record intact and then improve on your home record, you potentially could win a title. It is coming up to almost halfway through the season. My only concern as a United fan, Liverpool have a lot of guys out. So once they do come back in Klopp's system, as we know, they fit in seamlessly and they'll just continue like clockwork as if they had played 10 games straight, not missed 10 games straight. That's my concern. Liverpool are still the best team, in my opinion. I thought Chelsea was going to, with that team, really push with the squad that they have and take advantage of Liverpool's injury woes. I thought they were going to just eclipse them, potentially get that 8-point buffer, and then by the time Liverpool got their players back, Chelsea would have been able to hold them off. But it looks like United's going to be that team now. We're healthy. This is our full squad. We do have January where we're looking to get a few more guys to come in. In saying that, we got Martial on our squad, who's absolutely struggling at the moment, devoid of confidence. I actually really like Anthony Martial. He's a great player, but in that Leicester game, he had no impact whatsoever. He got a few touches in the first half. The second half, I was watching it with a long-time double coverage fan, and he said, "Where's Martial gone?" We hadn't seen him. We subbed him for Cavani. In the first 3 minutes Cavani was on the field, he's the guy that set up Fernandes for the goal. He had an impact automatically. It concerns me for Martial because, like I said, a great player, not with confidence.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to find it.
I'll tell you one thing, Dom. There's definitely one man you cannot do without, and if he gets injured, your team could actually go to poo, and that's your boy Bruno Fernandes, because on the season, 15 matches played in the Premier League, 10 goals, 7 assists. What a return. What a return.
He's dominating. And I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, here we go.
I can't believe I'm saying this. But our best 11 probably has Pogba starting. I can't believe I'm saying this. But him coming off the bench as an injection of like skill and talent has actually worked wonders for United. As I did say to you, which you might be saying, oh, you're backtracking on Pogba now, but what did I say, Source? He can't start games with the team because he looks very slow. He's a lazy player, but when he comes on the field, when the pace of play has already been set, he fits in perfectly and he gels with the team.
Yep.
The one thing I've noticed, once he comes off the bench, is that injection that we need on the field, and anything can happen. And he can create anything, and he plays really, really well. So, I don't know. Is he just playing well because he's going to leave in January? Anyway,
Yeah. Look,
he's going.
he's trying to
He's
put
going
he's,
regardless.
he's trying to put his stocks up. Like, I mean, who knows what the goal is with Pogba, but you just hope that he just be's a professional in all aspects of being a professional footballer and does his job. If you're asked to come off the bench, come off the bench and impact the game. If you're asked to start and play in the manner that the coach is asking. You've seen in those earlier games in the season, he was horrendous. Giving the ball away, getting caught on the ball so many times in the midfield, and putting your team under pressure back the other way when he was losing the ball so easily. And you look at him, he's a man mountain. He's an absolute unit. You're like, no one should be able to even get the ball off him. But
Correct.
He was playing like not
A Le Mans,
like a Le Mans, as I said, like a Le Mans. He was not playing he's not playing the Pogba that we know and we've seen dominate games. Not only for Juventus, for United previously, but also for France. So, when you see your player and how well he can do and impact a game in that manner, and then he comes out and gives you what he was serving up earlier in the season, your thought is, does he really want to be at the club, or is something wrong? And obviously there is. He doesn't want to be at the club, but it's shown. It's shown that by him actually coming off the bench and Ollie giving him that role, he's grabbed it by the horns and is riding with it.
He's doing a great job. But let's get to the table. We've got Liverpool first on 32, United second on 30. We've got Leicester, Everton, and Villa. Leicester and Everton, third and fourth on 29. Then we have Villa, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, and Southampton all on 26 points. West Ham and Leeds on 23 points. In 12th, we've got Wolves on 21. Arsenal up to
9 clear of the relegation, mate.
Mate, you're only 4 points clear of top. So 4 games clear of top. Palace on 19, Newcastle on 18, Burnley on 16, Brighton on 13, Fulham in 18th on 11, West Brom on 8, and Sheffield on 2. They will definitely get relegated. The final games for the round tomorrow, and they are Tottenham versus Fulham and Newcastle versus Liverpool. And then the fixtures for next week are Everton versus West Ham, United versus Villa, which is a great game, Tottenham versus Leeds, Palace versus Sheffield, Brighton versus Wolves, West Brom versus Arsenal. You could get 3 on the trot. Burnley versus Fulham, Newcastle versus Leicester, Chelsea versus City, which will be a fantastic game, and then Southampton versus Liverpool to finish off the round.
The Everton versus Man City game got postponed, right? I believe so. That will have to get played at a later date.
And just a quiet note, just to end the segment. The great man, my boy, we love him on this show, the undisputed GOAT of football, won an award this week. He was footballer of the decade, I'm pretty sure, and that was Cristiano Ronaldo. Congratulations, mate. You are still the GOAT. You did play in the same decade as another guy called Messi, as I like to say. I'm pretty sure you played in the same decade, and you won the award ahead of him. I do know that you are the best player, and I do congratulate you, and I wish you all the very best. I'll GOAT. So thank you.
And on that note, Domma, we'll be rolling on.
Coming up next, we've got some NFL.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're back. We've got NFL Week 16. This week coming will be the final week of football. So next week on the pod, we definitely will be covering Wildcard Weekend. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get a good outlook on who's making it. But this week has some major games. we'll get straight into the results from this week. And when I hit the game, I'm going to explain why there is some big dramas in this division. So Vikings versus Saints. Saints beat Vikings 52-33. Bucks
Just
beat.
quick note on that game. Just quick note. Alvin Kamara had an absolute beast of a game. 6 TDs, and I've never seen anything like it. The guy was
It was unbelievable.
He single-handedly tore the Vikings to shreds.
I've never seen a game, honestly, where a running back's had 6 TDs, which is he equaled a record, but Drew Brees, an elite quarterback, didn't throw a TD because Kamara ran all the TDs in. He threw 2 interceptions instead. He didn't even get a chance to throw a touchdown because Kamara was just running.
But I've never seen a game like that where another player, obviously that isn't the QB, has impacted the game so much. Like literally single-handedly,
he
destroyed them.
It's unbelievable. It was a great game to watch. He literally put up, what is it? Yeah,
I was seeing some funny stuff
points
on Instagram on people sharing they were versing. Obviously this is to week 16 and 17 is in fantasy sports for NFL. It's like the playoff window. Well, some people that were versing Alvin Kamara were just like, I've got no hope. I've literally got no hope.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he did dominate. He put on a clinic. They got the win there. Bucks beat the Lions 47-7. 49ers beat the Cardinals 20-12. My boy George Kittle was back. Unfortunately, it's too late for San Francisco. Dolphins beat the Raiders on a field goal to win it 26-25, and they knocked out the Raiders.
What about Fitzmagic? What about that throw from Fitzmagic?
Oh, it was great. So, honestly, our coaching's unbelievable. Like, Tua kept us in the game, and then we needed someone with a big arm to make the play. Fitzmagic comes in, and like it's awesome. The vet, it was a penalty anyway because he got his helmet.
Yeah, he got face mark.
Face mark. But he made a massive throw, got the TD, and then we won it off the field goal, which was fantastic for us. And there's also something that I'll mention for the Dolphins. If you're a Dolphins fan, as myself, you'll be loving the draft going into next season. Then we had the Broncos losing to the Chargers 19-16. Now, this is the game I was talking about. The Browns have lost to the Jets. So the Jets have won 2 straight. And the Browns, if they lose to Pittsburgh this week, the Ravens have got an easy one, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. I've got the games here. Ravens have the Bengals. So if the Ravens beat the Bengals next week and Pittsburgh beat Browns, Ravens are going to take their playoff spot. And the Browns are not going to make the playoffs.
Oh, boy, would we love that, Domma.
I can't wait for Colin Cowherd to just lose his marbles. He would just be in love.
And also, I'll just a quick note on you roll past the Buccaneers and the Lions. Tom Brady, first season at the Buccaneers, has broken the Tampa Bay Buccaneers passing TD record in his first season. Domma.
Apparently they've been
terrible. The GOAT just rocks up and he breaks a club record in his first season. Thank you very much.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT for a reason. Then we had Giants versus Ravens. Ravens beat them 27-13. Bengals beat Texans 37-31. Now, this is a great one for the Miami fans, as I mentioned, because the Bengals beating the Texans now puts the Texans in a position to get the 3rd pick. But lo and behold, Miami has the Texans' 3rd pick in the draft. So we're going to get a top 3 pick.
You're going to love that, Domma.
Just to bolster our team, which will be great for next season. Then we had the Bears smacking the Jags 41-17. Chiefs beat the Falcons 17-14. Steelers beat your Colts 28-24.
Oh, we choked it, Domma. We should have done. Yeah, we should have done better. We gave up 14 points in the last quarter to nothing.
I know. Panthers beat Washington 20-13. Rams lost to the Seahawks 29. Cowboys beat the Eagles 37-17. I think if they win next week, they will make the playoffs, the Cowboys. That's how much of a disgrace that division is. And then the Titans lost to I can't even read the Packers 40-14, smacked them, and then the Bills Mafia just rocked into New England and just
Gillette
smacked them a
Stadium.
beauty. Gillette Stadium and just smacked them a beauty, 38-9, which was great to see the Bills taking out that division, and I can't wait to watch them play some playoff football. To be honest, week 17, final week of the season. This is what we got: Dolphins, Bills, Saints, Panthers, Packers, Bears, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. That is the game to watch. Vikings, Lions, Chargers, Chiefs, Jets, Patriots, Cowboys, Giants. Another game to watch. Washington, Eagles. Another game to watch. All teams are playing each other in that division. Falcons versus Bucks, Raiders versus Broncos, Titans versus Texans, Jags v Colts, Cardinals versus Rams, and the Seahawks versus the 49ers to round off the season. And then we've got some football, playoff football to come, Sauce. Can't wait for that. But it's been a great NFL season. Another sporting organization that have done a fantastic job during COVID, and just looking forward to some playoff football and crowning a Super Bowl champion when we get to Feb. So, yeah, stay tuned.
It's been good, and I think, quick note, I've heard a few people just speaking about Mahomes' cards in general, and feeling that they even though they have, they were extremely high at the start of the season, they have come down, and then there was opportunity to buy, and now they're sort of on the rise again. Potentially, if you think that he's going to get to the Super Bowl, it could be a buy, picking up his rookie card if you can afford it. There's a few options out there that and they're quite expensive, but not for anything. Like you got to look at Patrick Mahomes, and since he's come into the league, he's only been in the league three seasons. He's already got a Super Bowl. He's going to win an MVP, maybe multiple MVPs throughout his career, barring injury. As long as this guy stays fit for the next 10 to 15 seasons. Stays in the league 10 to 15 seasons. At the rate he is going at, he is going to surpass some of the greats of the game at the QB position in terms of statistics, TDs, all-time passing records and everything. So, you need to understand that if you buy these cards now and he's still at the start of his career and he potentially wins, he's already got one Super Bowl. So it's more than freaking Dan Marino. Even though how good Dan Marino was, he's still got a Super Bowl. He never got one. Right, so he's got one locked in. Now, from what he does from now on, if he could potentially win more Super Bowls, does he get the same amount as Brady? Maybe, maybe not. It's the NFL. It's not that easy to win. It's a team sport, so you can't say that. But could he win another one? Maybe another two? Yeah, why not?
Also, if he wins it this year, his card prices should just stay as the average of whatever the high is, and then it just builds upon that. Honestly, if he wins it this year. Because this is a kid that, at that stage, like you're saying, will have multiple Super Bowls if he wins it this year. He hasn't even won an MVP yet. So then everything else is just the icing on the cake. Mate, he's taken the chocolates already. He's got a Super
come
Bowl.
into the league, and he's the best player in the league. His third season.
I know. If he wins two, he's just gone to obviously a candy store buffet, and he's just bloody ransacked the table. But if he starts winning MVPs and stuff like that on top of it, like we said, it is just icing.
He might win the MVP
cake.
this season, Domma.
Like a good comparison, I think we'll talk about it in the next segment. Hobby talk is just imagine if Luka was Mahomes and already won a title.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to say to people. Like, you think about it, the Luka effect that everyone's thinking about in the NBA, losing their mind. But yet this guy hasn't won an MVP. He hasn't even freaking won a playoff series. He won playoff series. Sorry, my bad. He won the first playoff series, but he hasn't gone deep into the playoffs. He hasn't won a championship. Whereas Mahomes, on the other hand, his third season in, he's already got a chip, and the MVP's coming.
I think we do know that obviously basketball is more popular to collect than NFL. That is also a factor in it, but it is definitely there. I don't know what happens. We'll talk about it next in Hobby Talk anyway, about Trae Young. But stay tuned. We'll get into Hobby Talk straight away next. All right, we're back. We will continue our discussion about Luka the Don and comparative prices in just a second. But we do want to just start with one thing. I don't know if anyone saw it out there, but our man Gary V interviewed David Portnoy, the El Presidente of Barstool Sports, and it was a great discussion. Just they talked everything, but one thing we just want to touch on, because obviously this is Hobby Talk. Gary did say to David, the Prez, you have the platform and you have the age demographic and the content that they create is fantastic. If you haven't seen Barstool's content, it is great.
Don't worry, double coverage will be on that level one day.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get there. But honestly, Gary actually said to David, have you thought about getting into sports trading cards? And David Portnoy did say that it's been on the cards for 6 to 12 months, thinking about how they're going to do it. These guys have the resources, ladies and gents, Barstool Sports that is, that if they start covering trading cards, sports trading cards, or any trading cards, if they're like delve into Pokemon as well, this thing can explode even further. It could be just the next wave of just craziness in this hobby. They have the ability to just create some crazy content, some sick stuff, and by doing that, it just gets more eyes on the hobby. They already have, as we said, a massive platform. So, in my opinion, I think it'll be absolutely fantastic to get the team at Barstool to do something like that. And for the fact that they got support by one of the greats in the hobby in Gary V is absolutely awesome. So it's a bit of a watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space.
He did say a 6-month period potentially, so it could come out in 2021. Mid-year, there could be something happening there. So yeah, definitely watch this space. But let's get back into that discussion we had there about Luka. The thing I wanted to touch on in the last segment when it came up was Trae Young. Now, I know a lot of people were high on Trae Young. If he keeps up this this form for the whole season, I'm not going to say he is. It's only been 3 games. But if he keeps up this form, he wins MVP because he's getting Atlanta from a team that was nothing into playoff contention. It's potentially a top 4 seed. He's the MVP. He'll win it. I'm just telling everyone, he's going to win it. If he wins it, it's the same draft class. What happens there? Sauce, like, I don't understand. If he wins it, he's ahead of Luka. In terms of accolades, does he surpass Luka in card price, or I don't know?
Well, Domma, he let's just say he's last sold base PSA 10 prison base PSA 10 went for 750. Luka the Don last sold went for 1800. So we're saying that Luka the Don is double
$1,100.
Is $1,100 better player than Trae Young. You're telling me. But the way that they're going at the moment, the way that Trae Young is playing at the moment, and I mean,
he's dominant. He's actually playing
balling
very well.
out. And their team has improved like we expected them to improve because they made some really nice additions. We spoke about this. And, you know, what was the over-under at the start of the season was 44.5, I believe, Domma.
Yeah, I think 44.5.
And, you know, across the board, I think everyone went over bar one of us. Or did everyone go over when we did the preview?
I think someone may have gone under.
But me personally, I was over. I think they can easily win 50 games, and they've shown in these first few games that they're putting together a more solid, defense at least. They're defending better. I just want to get the standings up because it gives me bloody hell. Pressed the wrong thing about 4 times. Get the standings up so I can have a look at Atlanta, how much points per game they're giving up. So, off opponents' points per game. So, 112 points per game given up, which is I believe an improvement on last season. I think the average points per game last season given up was over 120. So, they've
Yeah.
improved on the defensive side of the ball, which is what I spoke about. If they could, keep their team, the offense to 110 points, there's that much firepower on their side that they could put up 120, 130 every game easily.
Oh, easy,
Right?
easy.
It's just a matter of whether they can keep the other team in check. So, Trae Young been balling out. It's a tough space. Even though I don't want to say that he's a buy, Trae Young, because his card prices have risen so much since I was talking about picking him up at the bubble. Like, I mean, if you just look back in the 11th of November, you could pick up his prison for $500 PSA 10, and now today's gone for $750. So you've essentially increased your money by 50%. So that's pretty good if you ask me in a month. And based off, here we go. So in the last month, it's only gone up 13%, but in the last 3 months, it's gone up 88%, Domma. So
Wow.
everything is up, and there's a lot of cards that are like that, especially now with the hype of the season. And we spoke about this previously on another Hobby Talk, Domma, that once the season comes around, the attention's not on it. Now's the time to buy. You know what? Probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were telling people, well, 4 or 5 weeks ago, it's when you need to buy the cards. And if you pretty much
too late now.
Yeah, have you bought all your cards then? Like I did, I loaded up on a few that I really wanted, and I mean, some of them still haven't moved. I'll speak about it in the next segment, Saucy Smokey, about one of the cards that I picked out earlier on, and I bought a few of, and it still hasn't moved, so still opportunity there. There's still some opportunity, but on Trae Young, the needle's moved a bit, but if he keeps balling out the way he's going, there's no reason that this card during the season isn't a $1,200 card.
Oh, I agree. I completely
When
agree.
Lucas is 1,800, they're from the same draft class.
He's going to keep going up. If he's after 20 games, he's still averaging over 30. It's going up. Again.
Well, Zion is at
Even
1K.
more.
John Morant is more expensive than Trae. I understand.
While John Morant was averaging 39, was it 39 or 44 points a game before he got injured?
Right, which makes sense. But
So,
I mean, Trae Young he's still balling out. Go have a look at his stats through the first few games. He's averaging, I think, about 30 points. Here we go. He's averaging 34 points, Domma, and he's shooting 42% from three.
Yeah, he's killing it. No, he's killing it. You know what it looks like? It's literally like that season Curry dominated. Like, he shot real high 3-point percentage. His points per game was over 30.
Domma, if he literally goes for a 40 and 90, 40 and 90, so 40 plus from percentage from the 3-point land and 90% plus from the free throw line. That's like, not many players can do that, Domma.
No.
Right? So if he does that and then averages
like
30 plus, there's no reason why he can't win the MVP, especially
he wins it.
He leads his team into the playoffs.
No, he wins it because Atlanta were nothing last year, and look at him this year. Like, no, he wins it. Like, there's no shadow of a doubt he wins it. But he has to maintain it. We're only 3 games in, so we'll see what happens. Like, there's so many factors in the NBA, as you know, that can change a team overnight. So we'll wait and see what happens there, and then report it as it comes. But yeah, I reckon Trae Young's probably is at this point in time a good buy before it gets out of hand. But as Saucy said, and I said to you a fair while ago, like, if you didn't buy your cards, unfortunately you have missed the boat. You need to just be lucky with some smokies, and hopefully they pay off. Where there is one smoky that definitely is not paying off for Saucy at the moment, that is Andrew Wiggins, because he has been Scheisenhausen. Absolutely terrible. They got the 2 worst 3-point shooters in the team.
Domma, and I'm not disappointed because my logic was sound on it, and my logic was built around Klay Thompson being healthy. Klay Thompson not being there, moving Andrew Wiggins to be now the second guy, which has been proven, and I've said this. I'm on record saying this. It's been proven in the past that when Andrew Wiggins is the second option, he stinks.
Yeah.
Right? Every team he's been on.
Correct.
So, I was saying him being the third option, a lot of tension on Clay, Steph, give him more a free role. I could see him, potentially averaging 18, 20 points and, helping that team lead into playoffs where, as long as they got into playoffs around that 5, 6 spot, I could have seen them, potentially seeing a bump in his cards. Well, right now, his cards haven't moved. They're pretty much the same price as what they were before, and I could be just taking an L on this one. Sometimes these things, they don't work out, Domma, and that's all part of the game.
That's a game.
And it's all why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, Dom, and that's why I've been telling people, and we'll talk about it in the Smokey coming up next, why instead of buying Andrew Wiggins, you could be buying this guy.
All right,
next.
Let's get straight into that next. Coming up next, Saucy Smokey. All right, ladies and gents, the most anticipated segment of the week is here again. Saucy's Smokey, and he's not even going to give another card. He's upset about a thing again. Like, this card is not getting what it's deserved. So, Sauce, get into it, mate. What's happening?
Domma, I shared it out on the socials, so anyone who follows us on the social, I shared it on the story. I even put a screenshot of an eBay listing that you could go buy it now. This card, buy it now, and I don't understand. Dom. So I'm actually baffled. So, ladies and
gents, the player's not that good though.
The player he's not bad. He's not bad. Only won 2 MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, 4 Finals MVPs. I think he's won 4 Finals, 4 chips. So he's all right. He's not bad. He's gonna end his career as the second all-time point scorer, maybe the first. So he in the scheme of things, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
The GOAT.
Ladies and gents, I don't know how much stress this enough. I've called this ages, Saucy Smokey probably 5 weeks ago when I was telling people that this card's incredibly undervalued, and it's still so incredibly undervalued. I'll chuck on the mini home overlay when I fix it up. But the card that we're talking about is the LeBron James 2003 Upper Deck Rookie Exclusive, right? Now, Domma, the card itself is it's a nice looking card. I've spoken about this before. I'm not going to go into that again, but I'm just going to go that with a PSA 10 pop report of 823 of PSA 10. We'll switch it over to the mini overlay where I've got the card ladder graph up on the Upper Deck Rookie Exclusive PSA 10 LeBron James. We've seen back 3 months ago, this card was selling at around $1,200, over $1,000. But yet you can go buy one for $800. I put a listing up on our Instagram story from eBay, and it was a buy it now of $900, Dom. Right? Now this is a card that has a pop report of less than 1,000. It has a gem rate of 30%. If you can't afford to buy the 10, you can literally go buy a raw one of this card for $100. You can go buy a PSA 9, right? Which the pop report on the PSA 9 is only about it's just hit over 1,000 for $270 USD. Now, this card 3 months ago was up around 400 at a PSA 9. So it hasn't risen back to the tights. What happens when we just see the Lakers clinch that West top spot and, the Lakers are then rolling into the finals, what's going to happen then? Everyone's going to be looking to buy all these LeBron rookie cards, and they're thinking, oh, he's going to win a fifth chip. And all the pundits out there, including myself, have the Lakers going back to back. And based off what I've seen in the first few games, yeah, we lost to Portland yesterday, but the team looks really, really good. We've got more depth than what we had last season. We've improved at the center position, so we've got we've got best hope as any to win a chip. You go have a look at these modern day players. You got would you rather go buy this card with a pop report of 823, or would you go buy Darius Garland Prism Silver? I understand it's a silver, it's a holo. That's now $700-800 as a PSA 10. Pop report's only 323, but you got to realise it's the same draft year as Zion and Jar, and you should go have a look at Zion and Jar's pop report on their PSA 10. It's up over 1,000, so it can easily get up to that number. And then yet you've got this LeBron James rookie card here that's got a pop report of PSA 10 of 823 and not getting the love. The incredible value, in my opinion, is the LeBron James rookie exclusive BGS 9.5. We can go get a nice Beckett graded card for under $300 at a 9.5. That was trending just on the 9th of October this year at $625. That's a 50% discount, Domma.
Wow.
What more? How much more do you want the card to drop? It's a LeBron James rookie. Yeah? At the end of the day, any one of these modern day players will not have not even get close to the career that LeBron James has had. And he's still going. This is what I don't get, Dom. So I'm just pundits out there, hobbyists out there. If you haven't got this card, or if you're looking to buy your first LeBron James rookie card, this is a very, very, very affordable. There is no way that this card, as a PSA 10, should not be, well up over $2,000. When you've got the Topps card where he's holding his jersey like that in a white suit that, in my opinion, looks ugly, right? And you've got this card where he's flying through the air, looks like he's about to dunk the ball, looks better. Now, that's just my opinion, right? Topps is Topps, but, at the end of the day, you're looking at the card, you want the card to look aesthetically pleasing. That card's not really that nice, in my opinion. But yet, you've got the PSA 10 on that is at, I think it's at 4,000, Domma. So, yeah. When you've got other cards like that at 4,000 as a PSA 10, or your Topps Chrome here, PSA 5,000 it's at, Domma. And then you've got that other Upper Deck, just because it's Upper Deck and not Topps, the most, desired one, but the pop report on it is at 1,844 already.
That's ridiculous.
Right? On a PSA 10. And then you've got another LeBron James rookie at under 1,000. So, people out there, I'm giving this Smokey because the price hasn't moved on it. You still got time. You still got time to go buy this LeBron James rookie. The fact that I am saying this, that this card is so affordable and anyone at any level can get on it, even if you want to buy it raw, you want to buy a PSA 9, my suggestion would be a PSA 9 and BGS 9.5 is the same price. Go buy the BGS 9.5. If you get one with a bit better subgrades, maybe you pay an extra $50-$60, even though I think it's bullshit that people pay more for extra subgrades. Go get it, because worst comes to worst, the PSA 10 kicks off, you crack it out of the slab, maybe you send it to PSA, swap it over because there's that much of a price difference, or you just keep it in the slab like me because, I can't be bothered waiting another 35 months to get my card back. So, yeah, ladies and gents, go out there, LeBron James, 2003, Upper Deck, rookie exclusive. Go get it.
It's on the socials.
It's on the socials. Scroll back through. You'll see it's a Saucy Smokey.
Everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. It's on everywhere. It's everywhere, mate. So, that's his Smokey. It's a good one, in my opinion. It's a LeBron James rookie card. It's a rookie card.
Yeah, if you don't want to buy it and you want to go buy Darius Garland rookies, by all means, buy Darius Garland. If you want to go out there and buy some of the most other ridiculous ones that I've seen, prices, I don't know, freaking, you go buy a Colin Sexton, mate. Colin Sexton, Darius Garland won't even get close to LeBron James's, won't even get, mate, I don't even know what to say. I've lost my words, They won't even get anywhere in the stratosphere. They won't even get, they don't even breathe the same air as LeBron James in terms of basketball. Mate, they're down here. They're down here, baseline, and LeBron James is up in the sky, mate. That's the disparity of quality of player you're talking about. So, ladies and gents, go buy it.
I completely agree.
Go buy it.
Saucy Smokey. There you go. Another pod. It's been an interesting one. Nice quick one. Just recapping and giving our thoughts. But yeah, I've got some trees in the background here, undisclosed location, as we like to say. But it's been awesome. It's been Dom with the Great Man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Peace.
Peace out, ladies and gents.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double curve.